Guys, we're back with another one, and what we're going to be looking at today is we're going to be looking at BTC like I normally do. We're going to be breaking down USDT dominance, BTC dominance, and I'm also going to be looking at the BTC CME gap here that's not been filled yet. I'm going to go through a few altcoins as well. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So I'm on the daily with BTC, and I've got my volume profile up. This is my monthly volume profile from the 1st of November. I'm just going to go back a little bit, get the main volume profile in. And on the main volume profile at the minute, the point of control is here at around 68k. But on the monthly, if you can see, I'll zoom it in a little bit. On the monthly, the point of control is now at around 91,000. The value area low is at 75, and the value area high is where the point of control is at around 91,000. So we could see some sort of price action like we've had here in this block. We did have, from there all the way over to there, we had 229 days of sideways action. We could potentially be having that sort of sideways action here again. There's the CME gap down here, but we want BTC to stay stable, just for the simple fact, if we're going to have an alt season or not. So if BTC can stay, dropping around this area for a little bit, then we're going to see some of these alts start to move. A lot of the alts have already started to move, and that's due to the fact that we've got the USDT dominance dropping, and BTC dominance it's the same as this. It's stable at the minute. We want that for alt season to run. Potential longs possibly in BTC. Let me just remove that 1 second. See how we're looking at this previously in this trade here. I did get stopped out. Like I say, we're trading probabilities. You're not always going to win your trades. Sometimes you are going to get stopped out, which I did, which I'm not too bothered about. It is what it is. There's plenty of opportunities in the market. We've also got this big fair value gap between 81 and 85 area. This could be a nice healthy pullback if we get it, and then to fire off. I did say in a lot of videos my market top were around between 85 and 90. We are above that at the minute. So, and we've also got a lot of things going on. We've got obviously the US and Trump saying that he's going to possibly create BTC as a reserve. We've got Michael Saylor, he's with MicroStrategy, and he's continuously buying, even at this area up here. I think his average entry is, I think it's around 49k, something like that, around this area. That's his average entry now, and he's continuously buying. You've got other countries that are trying to get money together to buy Bitcoin as well, because what you'll see is that there's a lot of FOMO now. People didn't believe in Bitcoin when we were down here. People didn't believe in Bitcoin when we were down here. Everybody thought we were going to continuously keep going low, and it never did. So now you've got a lot of people that are FOMOing in, and you're going to have a lot of people that are going to get absolutely smashed to bits just because they didn't believe in Bitcoin in these lower areas. Whereas, you know, I previously told you, I bought Bitcoin at around 21. It was 21 around this area here. You could clearly see that that were a good opportunity to buy Bitcoin, and I did buy it. I did slowly start to cash out Bitcoin when we first had this top at around 73, and then I did tell you that I started to stack orders all the way down, and now we've had this breakout, and I have been cashing out on the way up. If we can do this sort of like retracement into this area, I will start to buy again, but at the minute I'm not buying around here. I do own some Bitcoin still on another trading platform, and I'll probably keep that Bitcoin until I see fit to cash that Bitcoin out. We're also going to, let's have a little look at BTC dominance while we're at it. This is BTC dominance. These are the drawings that I had on. I think I did them on the weekly. You know, this was the area that I was pointing out that we could start to buy altcoins, and we want to see it start to break down like this. At the minute we're just going sideways. BTC dominance at the minute is a bit crazy, but altcoins hopefully will start to run very soon. We've got the USDT dominance breaking down like I did show you in a previous video. We've got this here. We want to see it stay below this area, and I did point out around this area between the 2% and the 1.5% where you want to really be cashing out on most of your altcoins. That's my take on it. Like I've said, not financial advice. Remember that. The CME gap. You know, if we go through most of these CME gaps that did get created, they generally do get filled. And I'm not saying they're going to get filled instantly. It could take 2 months, it could take a week, it could take a day. It's not a foregone conclusion that we are just going to drop to fill the gap. This could take a while to fill. So people that are trying to short up here, be very, very careful with what you're trying to do. I'm not shorting yet. I'm waiting. And I probably won't short. Like I say, I'm going to, with BTC itself, I'm going to start to stack orders at certain areas. One of these areas is we've got a weekly fair value gap which ties in with the CME gap, and then on the daily we can start to stack orders all the way down into these areas and hopefully get another nice push. This area might not be out of the question, so you've got to be able to be adapt to the market, and that's what I will do. You know, originally I did say a long time ago when we were up in this area, where were we? Here, around 73k, that we would push down into the 40s, which we did. You know, I was expecting us to break down even further. We didn't break down even further. So then you've got to switch your bias and realise that this could be an opportunity of a lifetime to start stacking Bitcoin and hopefully get up into these areas here. Let's have a look at a few altcoins while we're at it. Ondo were a lovely trade. That was the trade that I had set up in Ondo, and it's running nice at the minute. I did show you it in a previous video. Watch for this, and it's played out lovely at the minute. Then we've got Pendle. Pendle is holding above this area. You know, you want to see it drop down into this area. See, what tends to happen is with a lot of people, they'll be watching this, they'll take a long, and what they'll do is their stops will be there. You know, I have told you before, market makers, that's probably what they're going to target out, retail. And what market makers will do, it'll start to go up, it'll dip into that area, and then it'll fire off, stopping everybody out here, and then doing the move. What were originally going to happen, what you did have, which you thought was going to happen, eventually does happen, and you're stopped out. We've also got this fair value gap in Pendle on the daily. We have tagged into it, but you know that market makers are looking for liquidity, and if they can get liquidity, that's what will happen. And what you'll also see is when coins are doing something like this, that's liquidated a lot of people. So what's happened is the market's pushed up, you've had people setting shorts in this supply zone here, and then it'll push through the supply zone, so they'll all get stopped out, which means that they're market buying then. They're not intentionally buying, well, that's what happens. It market buys. You see a cascade of everybody getting liquidated up here, and then your initial move that you thought was going to happen does eventually happen. So instead of just thinking, oh, I need to take a short straight away at this area, you don't need to take the short. Wait, see what the market's going to do. You want to be looking at something like this. Let it sweep out that liquidity there, and then fire off. We've got NIA. I had this area pointed out previously. We want to hold this area. That's what we want to do. We're probably going to sweep and then carry on again up into these areas. You know, NIA's all-time high, I think, is 20. We go to the weekly. Yeah, NIA's all-time high is 20. Let's see if we can get try and get above this $9 region, hold this region, sweep, and then go again. That's my play for NIA. I have got a nice spot bag of NIA, and I will be holding NIA. Also, another one that I was looking at is Render. Render is absolutely flying. I did say in another video, again, you want to start stacking Render. I don't know if anybody listened to me, but we've swept out this liquidity here now, and we do want to hold this area in Render, round this area here. Somewhat very similar to NIA. A little sweep, and then hopefully fire off, getting back up into these areas in Render. So I have got a nice spot bag of Render as well. CAS. Also CAS, I did tell you about CAS. Once this coin starts to fire, it fires. And look, it's absolutely taken off. So you'll have had the same sort of scenario here. People will have took longs at these areas. It swept, took their stop losses, and then continue to fire off. CAS is probably a really strong coin to hold. At the minute, I probably wouldn't be getting into CAS because we're probably going to see something like this again. It's going to fire up, start to come back down, sweep them out, and then go again. So CAS, your buy zones are around 15,640 and 16,894. Keep an eye on that. SUI, another one, flying, absolutely flying. SUI. Can we see any buy zones in SUI at the minute? These are fair value gaps sat right there. Make sure that's the right fib. Is that the one? Yeah. We've got a buy zone of around 2.5 in SUI. If it don't come down into there, no worries. I'll just leave it alone because it is running at the minute really well. So this here is your buy zone in SUI. We've got ICP, another nice spot bag that I've got at the minute in ICP. On the daily, can't really see many fair value gaps. Let's go into the weekly. There ain't many on the weekly either. But we want to try get into this main zone in ICP. Really, you know, you'll see it all over on the chart. You can actually see it on the chart where it sweeps out liquidity. People will go long or they'll go short at this area, get stopped out because they've put it above the area. It then does the initial move. So we want to see it hold this area, come up, it'll probably sweep, come back in retracement, and then fire off. That's what we're looking at in these coins. I've said previously in other videos, if you want me to review something, just send me a message, I'll have a little look. I've got a little spot bag of flow at the minute. Could be another good one. You know, back into this dollar region. Probably come back in, sweep that. Fire off, sweep that. Come back in again. Somewhat along them lines. That's what we want to be looking at. I think Q1 is where altcoins run the best, and Q4 is where Bitcoin runs the best. Also, another little added confluence here. We've got the 200 below, so we could be looking at something like this. So keep an eye on them areas. And that's it from me. I will have links in the description. I'll have links for James Baccarat, indicators, CWP, Slim's bot. I've also got TikTok. If you want to go and have a little look on TikTok, I'll start to leave a link in the description for my TikTok account as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you do want me to review anything, send me a quick message in the chat, in the comment section, and I'll have a little look for you. But yeah, that's it from me, and I will catch you in the next one, guys. Happy trading.